Literal Brothers podcast. This is ABC DVD, Two Brothers' alphabetical journey through a DVD collection that is the next evolutionary leap from the last episode that they did.
Yeah, that's two leaps.
That's two leaps.
Oh, I mean, that's like quantum leap of leaps.
His next leap is the leap home. But no, we're not going to do Quantum Leap. We're going to be doing the next mutant leap, which is X2, X-Men United.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Noah.
And yeah, X-Men 2, X-Men United, 2003.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, yes.
You know, I'm going to have to make a confession.
Yeah, you didn't like this movie.
I was not excited, and then I watched like, no. This is one of the good ones. But this is the same problem I have with like DC films where like there's so many bad ones. Just like there are a lot of bad X-Men movies.
Oh yeah. No. Like, this is probably the high watermark for a while before they reboot it, and even then the reboots are touch and go. But
well, I mean, I like Days of Future Past. I like First Class.
Yeah,
First Class is fun.
Yeah,
but it's like oh no, wait. No, this one's good.
Yeah, this one's good. Yeah, this was an improvement from the last one. I feel, and I'd say,
and much better than the
what
third
follows
one.
it. Yeah. But yeah, so
confessions, keeping
no,
it 100.
I really feel like they watched the first movie, and the first movie is like, hey, there's some really cool ideas that they said would happen. Mm-hmm. Why don't we just do those? Like, hey, what would happen if someone ever came to your school? Well, let's show that. Hey, what would happen if if the X-Men Brotherhood ever had to work together? Hey, let's show that. You know, it's like, yeah.
No, they did
everything that was really interesting mentioned in the last movie. Why don't we actually, show that?
And make it a little less cartoony.
Yeah. So,
but anyway.
Yep.
Directed again by Bryan Singer, who is known for Usual Suspects, Superman Returns, Days of Future Past. So very much in the superhero genre directors. Yes. It was written by Zach Payne, who is Ready Player One, The Avengers, and The Incredible Hulk.
All right.
And also written by David Hayton, which is Watchmen, X-Men, and The Scorpion King.
So, action, comic booky goodness.
Yeah. We're going to play IMDb with you, Josh, if you don't remember from last time.
Okay, that's fine.
Leads are Patrick Stewart.
Well, that's Star Trek, that is.
That is Star Trek.
I mean, did you choose some non-Star Trek ones?
There's only one other, and it's really a offshoot of X-Men.
Okay, yeah. Deadpool? No, he's not in that. All the Star Treks and then all the
X-Men and Logan.
Oh, Logan, yeah, that's true.
Hugh Jackman.
The Greatest Showman?
Sure, yeah.
Was he in Les Mis?
He was in Les Mis.
Okay. And
Logan,
yeah.
Halle Berry.
Catwoman?
That's why.
Okay, they actually showed that sad.
This is her tops.
Swordfish?
No.
Okay. Race the Sun?
No.
Okay.
Gothica and Die Another Day.
Oh, Die Another Day, that's fair.
And I'm going to put Ian McKellen in there.
Okay. Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Gods and Monsters?
Yep, you win.
Okay, cool.
And this,
yeah.
But yeah, no, this synopsipod.
The synopsipod. Let's see what happened to the X-Men this time.
Yeah, previously on X-Men.
Yeah.
When anti-mutant Colonel William Stryker kidnaps Professor X and attacks his school, the X-Men must ally with their arch nemesis Magneto to stop them.
Nemepods.
Nemesis.
Yeah.
I mean, this does what the other one did as well. It's like there's a lot of bouncing around from panel to panel.
But what is better probably because it's usually superhero movies do really well with the first one because it's the origin and it introduces a character. Problem with the X-Men was there's like too many characters to introduce in one go. So this one was helped out by the fact of, oh, good, we already know you guys. We can actually do something with you.
Yeah, and they didn't have to stop and be like, hey, what's your power?
Yeah, let's have a montage of walking around the school kind of thing.
Yeah, no, we get the voiceover from Patrick Stewart saying, mutants, we're here.
Yeah. And
we're not going anywhere, and there's people who don't like that.
Yeah, and then we cut to the White House tour with a apt Lincoln quote. And we get this really awesome sequence of a character who we'll know as Nightcrawler busting through White House security, trying to assassinate the president.
Yes, lots of poofs.
Poofs.
And a slow-mo fight before Zack Snyder killed it.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was done on purpose because it's like, well, of the presidential portraits they showed, the two they showed were Lincoln and JFK, who were assassinated presidents. Is that a hint that he's trying to assassinate the president, or is that just because those are the two presidents most people know? It's a toss up in my brain.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment of the public.
It's like how much do I want to give the set deck credit for an Easter egg, or is it just you're not going to know who Grover Cleveland is, kind of thing.
Oh, Grover Cleveland.
Well,
slow-mo fight. He almost assassinates the president.
Yeah.
Now, the question I always wonder, was he actually going to assassinate him, or was it always to get him just
slightly there? Yeah, so stab him in the shoulder with the message or something like that. Yeah, as we learn later on, this is a false flag kind of done by not the mutants.
Yeah. But meanwhile, up north, Wolverine discovers a secret base and a fun canine companion.
Yes, in the Canadian tundra.
I mean, this is basically just
picking up where he left off in the last movie. And so he's like, and then we cut away from him because he's just looking at Canada.
Yep.
Canada.
And the mutants go on a field trip.
They go a field trip to a museum. It's nice.
And Jean is hearing so many voices. She hears every nasty comment. She is living in an internet comment box.
Oh God, it's awful. This was an interesting thing of they weren't planning. I'm just gonna spoil the end right here.
Spoiler.
They weren't planning initially to kill Jean Grey in this movie, but then while working on it, I think one of the script writers like, hey, what if we actually do the Dark Phoenix Chronicles, and for that we need her to die? Why don't we set that up now?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so it was at this scene. It's like, why don't we start establishing that she's got a little bit more power but less control now? Mm-hmm. And so we're getting the foreshadowing of her Dark Phoenix powers.
Okay.
Yeah. But also the teens are acting up.
The teens are acting up. There's a food court fight.
Yeah.
It's like, I also want to know, it's like,
could you smoke at the...
I was like, I know that teens are edgy and they're smoking, but like, are you really smoking in the food court?
It's like in a public building. I mean, this is a not too distant future, and we're not allowed to do that.
I know. I don't think you do it back in 2003. Anyway,
but it's fine.
Professor does his timey-wimey slow down thing.
Yep, and it's like, it's one of those things of, I don't think Patrick Stewart ages, but you can see that he does look younger. It's like, oh, okay, I can see the 20 years difference. You're getting a little bit shinier, a little bit more smooth, but looking good, man.
But tells everyone get out, and he's trying to track the assassin. He's a wily.
We gotta find him, and we get intro to our antagonist of William Stryker at the White House,
played by
Bryan Cox. Yeah,
who I like in a role like this. This is like a perfect Bryan Cox role. Where it's like, I get to be gravelly and
he's that perfect of military or some higher up. I mean, he's on Succession, and so he's to a type of I'm in power. I'm not a powerful person, but I know where all the bodies are, and I have no qualms of taking you down.
I don't take crap from anyone kind of thing. But he's basically found Xavier's school and wants to do a strike force to go capture mutants. Logan returns to the mansion. Everyone, gets to greet. You get, like, oh, you and you and you.
And I get to say, as I said in the first movie, I hate the love triangle that they try to force down my throat between Logan, Scott, and Jean.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for the whole trilogy. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Like, I know that's the thing in the comics and the cartoons.
I don't know if it really is. I don't recall it when watching the cartoons that Wolverine and Jean had a thing. I really don't.
They do.
Okay.
I mean, there's the famous meme of Wolverine crying in his bed looking at a picture.
That's true, yeah.
But I think because when you can spread it out over 500 comics, it's a little more fun versus here where it's like, no, you're in love. Why? Because it says so in the
it's
script.
Like it's really creepy as like of you're hitting on her. It's like, no, I'm in a relationship. Yeah, I'm gonna still hit on you. It's like that's really uncomfortable for all of us. Yeah.
We go back to Magneto's cell.
Yeah. In his plastic prison of
his
doom.
little plastic prison of doom, and this is the first time we get to see that Stryker has like this serum that can kind of control mutants. I mean, I think
it can control anyone, but he's using it on mutants.
I mean, it's one of those things where I kind of went, they never explained the serum thing. It just is.
It's his. They do kind of explain it
from his.
It's from his son.
Okay.
Yeah, he's basically draining his son's.
Powers,
cerebral juices to
cerebral juices.
I don't know what it is, but he's using his son's power in a liquid form to control people.
Yeah. Flashing back to Logan and the professor and the timey-wimey machine. It's
Cerebro. It's quite neato.
It's neato. But we're going to take a really around the world. Look, I can see everyone.
Yeah, I do like. Well, and what I like about this movie is how it reintroduces people's powers without really like, my power is healing. It's like Logan put out that cigar, and so he puts it out in his hand, and you can see it. Storm does a thing. Everyone shows their powers without it having to be explained.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, for those of us who didn't watch the first movie, I kind of get a quick acknowledgement of what your power is without someone explaining it to me.
Well, and it's showing like, it's Professor X's mind MacGuffin mystery of like, oh, this is the central crux.
Yeah, I mean, then we after that we get, as I said, we get to see Mystique's powers of shape shifting and getting into Stryker's office and her finding out. Oh, it's like, she's just trying to find out where where Magneto is, and then she finds out, there's even more danger. It's like he's the real man, was the real bad guy all along.
Yes, there's a second Cerebro, and she gets out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Storm and Jean go to a church, and they meet Nightcrawler. He's a teleporter.
Yeah, he speaks German because this is one of those things played by Alan Cumming, and he got the role. I think he was probably one of the leads, but they want Neil Patrick Harris was also a possibility for Nightcrawler, but he didn't get it because he doesn't speak German. So
I have a feeling he could
have learned, but
I think German.
Cumming did, but it's like it was a pain in the butt to do makeup. It was like 10 hours.
That looks
and that's
extensive.
Why he doesn't come back, because it was a pain in the butt. And it's like, he's like, and I'm rarely used. I sat in that chair for 10 hours and I'm barely used.
It's a fair complaint.
And that's a fair point.
That's a fair complaint. I mean, it's really good makeup work, I'd say this compared to the first one feels like they got a bigger budget.
Oh, they did. I think he got $50 million more than the last one.
Okay, and it shows.
Yeah.
Logan has a dream. Stryker is in it.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those
it's like
movies that has the flashback scenes that are incomplete.
Yeah, it's like, it's all disjointed images and sounds, but
but he's
late night at the school.
And he goes and he gets a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, I wrote that down too. Yay, Dr. Pepper.
If you see a Dr. Pepper, you know you're okay.
Yeah. But then the professor visits Magneto,
and it was all set up,
showing that they both have a history with Stryker, and but then it was like it was a trap.
It was a trap the whole time.
Yeah, but now here's the thing that I kind of bump on. I understand why Magneto says this, like, you should have killed me when you had the chance, Charles, while they're both being knocked out. Why would you say that to Professor Xavier? I mean, the best I could gather is like, if you had killed me, they would never have been able to torture the information out of me. But I feel like in that situation, it's like, you should have joined me when you had the chance, Charles. Would have been a much better line in this moment.
It is a little
it's like, why are you saying that to your friend / your frenemy? But
your Nima friend.
Nima friend, but it's like,
But the school does get attacked.
Yeah.
The strike force goes in. And
it's another awesome sequence.
This sequence, they start with non-lethal stuff.
Yeah.
Until Wolverine starts doing his Wolverine. I do have to point out, when the kitchen is shot up, the Dr. Pepper is spared. So if anyone who was worried that everything else gets blown up except the Dr. Pepper
and
bottle.
that is important. And for those who's like, well, he just stabbed a guy, why isn't he bloody? Because they wanted to keep it PG-13. It was a much more intensive sequence, but it's like, we want to keep the blood for his flashback scenes. We can't show it here, and we want a PG-13
You're only allowed 1 liter. Use it wisely.
Yeah, so it's like, that's why this is like very tame, but
but most of the kids escape.
And for the comic book fans, it's like, there's Kitty Pryde, there's Colossus, there's some other, like, but that's just like, hey, they're there, there they go.
Yep, they're gone.
We're never gonna see them again.
You get more of the MacGuffin of Stryker knows Wolverine. Wolverine can't remember Stryker.
But he's doing his duty more than it's like, I gotta take care of the kids more than what my past tells me. It's good character development.
Good. I have to laugh. You can turn a car on by stabbing it.
He stabbed his ignition and turned it on. But I love the Backstreet Boys. I think it's Backstreet Boys. One of the boy bands of everyone cringing. But it's like, then he's baffled by a cell phone looking device. Like, what is this cell phone?
That's the X phone.
That's the X phone. It's like, but it's the cell phone. But okay, but
it's like watching monkeys beat on. It's like, woo woo.
But then we cut away and
to the bar scene
with Mystique, and she gets to be her actual Rebecca Romaine That's her actual name, as we all know. Rebecca Romaine Stamos gets to not be in makeup and actually be herself. And, you know,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Well, yes,
I'm a shameful person, but Rebecca Romaine, yeah.
You can totally see those pills at the bottom of the drink. I was like, I mean, he might be too far gone to care at that point. But I was like, you could totally see those pills.
And also a quick Easter egg, you get to see Dr. Hank McCoy, who's on the TV. But that's neither here nor there.
No, I mean it definitely is doing the pre-MCU thing of like it's setting up fun Easter eggs for potential future movies. Yeah. But yeah, she gives him a metal shot.
Yeah, and knocks him out, puts metal in him, and then walks away.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the secret base.
Oh, Justice League. Meanwhile,
we get to meet Stryker's son, Jason, which this was like, hinted out that he was a former student. Yeah. And Stryker said, like, no, you sent him back broken, and he...
As Bryan Singer really wanted to lean into the mutants as homosexual kind of mentality, this would be like the Southern... stereotypically Southern family trying to do conversion therapy, and it's not working.
Well, and he came back and he was resentful, and he basically killed my wife. As I have no son.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we find out that he was behind the assassination. Shocker, he's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy, and then he uses his son against Patrick Stewart, and we get a good old fashioned mental stare down, which is never. It's always hard to have a mental power standoff in a movie without it looking silly.
It is like
eyebrow. Yeah, but yeah.
But we go to Iceman's house, and this also reinforces
Bobby. Yeah, no, this is if you didn't know what it was before, this is it.
Because X-Men have been used for various things like racism, racial segregation,
homosexuality.
Yeah, this one,
any other group that felt marginalized, X-Men was there to be your touchstone. Yeah,
but yeah, this definitely leans into the homosexuality because
he comes out to his family.
Family who is only 99% bad because they also have Dr. Pepper in their fridge. They also have
Dr. Pepper. Yeah. I mean, sponsored, but I don't care. We love that soda.
But yeah, Bobby comes out, and you get almost like the cringe-worthy lines, like, "Well, have you tried not being?" Which in the late '90s was the thing. Is like it was a choice, which it wasn't. And so they said, "Well, could you just choose not to be gay? Could you choose not to be a mutant?"
It's like no.
The little brother's a stoolie. Calls the police,
And then we get another awesome sequence of Pyro taking out all the cops.
Yeah, but he doesn't kill them.
He wants to. And this is what I feel like is a nice moment because they initially were going to have it where Storm would show up and use the rain to, make the fire go away, but they couldn't afford that. So it's like, why don't we use Rogue?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that this happened because one, it gives Rogue a character development that she's starting to embrace her powers.
Yeah.
And two, it's also a nice bit of acting of when she holds onto Pyro's leg too long, she starts acting like him. You start seeing his snarl on her face. Like that's a nice little touch.
Well, and I think in the greater story, you start to kind of get the two sides coming, like those that want to fight back and those that are kind of being more passive. Of like, you kind of get the like. I kind of
it's like they came to my house and tried to kill me, and now they're coming here trying to kill me. Why wouldn't I use this power to defend myself? Mm-hmm. Versus like, no, we have way too much, but we could easily kill them. We have to coexist, otherwise we're going to make it worse. So it's like you could see both sides. It's that thing of no, you could kind of see Magneto, who lived through what he did, going, I don't want to do this again.
This never ends well for us. So,
yeah.
But speaking of Magneto, we get a fun escape scene, which I like this.
This is also an awesome scene. This is why I was like, when I was ready, I was like, why doesn't Noah like this movie?
No. It's like, I do appreciate, like, he can sense
the metal,
the iron in this guy's bloodstream.
And I think or wherever was stored in his fat or whatever it was, that extra metal.
He just sucks it out of this guy. And then he now has his
way out.
His metal powers. Yeah. This is okay. If I have a criticism of this, because it does jump back to Storm and Nightcrawler doing some character development. Is some of these scenes, though good could have been cut down to drop down the 2.5 hour film. And that's all this is like, what was your past? What was your past? I'm angry. I'm faithful.
Yeah, I mean, so this one is like just to pay off for his Nightcrawler's leap of faith, but he's already been faithful, so his end with Storm, but whatever.
But yeah,
it's fine.
But yeah, no. But then we go back to what we already said. Like there was the police, shootout. I do like seeing how far we can push Wolverine's powers, because he does get shot in the head, and it is fun when his head kind of just spits the bullet out.
Well, and I don't think it's too out of the realm, because because we saw his X-rays that his skull is covered in metal. So it's just like, it wouldn't go far, and then his healing factor would just pop it out.
It's fun,
but it is like again just showing that this is what they can do, and then we get the jet.
Jet to the rescue.
Jet to the rescue. They leave, and then they're pursued by military, and it's like, oh well, let's throw tornadoes and stuff at them.
Well, like, what would happen if Twister met Top Gun? And that's what this is. Storm. Creates some storms. Jean moves a missile out of the way,
and I just have to say, I know you have to eject, but I wouldn't open my parachute right in the middle of a tornado. I don't think that's a good idea. But
whatever. I'm not a pilot.
It's like the G.I. Joe. They had a parachute. They're fine. They're fine.
And Rogue gets a free skydiving lesson.
Yes,
But they're crashing.
Again, it's more Dark Phoenix foreshadowing. We get to see Jean Grey's eyes change, kind of thing. But,
and Magneto saves them.
They're there.
They're there. They were right there. What are the chances that they crashed right there?
Right for Magneto to catch them, because Magneto does not have teleportation. Yes, I'm sure he wanted to catch up with the X-Men, but why would he think they would be somewhere between Boston and wherever this jet landed to catch them? This one is a little bit like, okay.
Why is he there? Because we need him to catch the plane.
We need them to be together.
Yes, so they can have a campfire talk.
Yes.
And this is basically just to give all the reveals of like, oh my gosh,
we figured out what campfire. Yeah. Of why did you give up the information? Oh, they've been torturing. It's like, why all these things? Oh, why blah blah blah. And then Mystique has to put the moves on everyone.
Well, we get the like you said, the love triangle that doesn't work. It's like it's an awkward kiss.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it is.
Yeah.
All the other things work so well. The love story is just jammed in there.
Yeah, just I guess for something for the ladies, which I think is just so. The late 90s mentality of it's like, well, we have to have romance, or the ladies won't enjoy this movie that they probably would anyway, because they might be nerds just like anyone else. I don't know
who this is working for. It's not.
I don't know. I feel like it's just pandering.
But so now we have basically our third act of we're gonna go back to the base.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and you are correct. This is the third act, but I checked, just like it is half the movie.
I know,
and I was like, oh yeah, this is the end of the movie, and I went, there is still an hour plus of this.
It's like that's it. Of my criticism, it's too long.
Yeah. And I was like, and I like this last half, but it's like, man, that is long.
It's a long third act.
Yeah.
But no, the whole thing is like, we're going to send Wolverine in.
And then, no, we're not.
Oh, no, it's a ruse. It's Mystique. It's Mystique. She can get out of anything.
And then it's like, it's immediately, it's like, I know my own work. It's like, oh, well, that ruse.
Was short-lived.
Yeah,
but she gets the gang in, meanwhile, you're pushing Professor X to do the deed. It's where the like, how is this going to play out? It's like, oh, Stryker's going to whisper into his
Sunzier's going to influence the professor to find all the mutants, and as established earlier, if he concentrates too hard on anything, he can kill them. Mm-hmm. He is a super weapon.
He is a super weapon. That is, we now have our Bond level kind of bomb, but there is a very short fight between Jean versus Cyclops.
Yeah, I know. With all these movies, they do Cyclops dirty.
Yeah,
I mean, if you know the comics or the cartoons, like he's the leader for a reason.
Well, he's the Superman kind of character. Like he's unflappable.
Unflappable, and he's like. He can't do good when he has his own mind. He can't do good, when he doesn't have his mind. He's just there to, I guess, get knocked out. And I feel bad for James Marsden. Marsden.
But but their fight basically,
or Marsters. But whatever.
Their fight is, in essence, isn't even a real fight. It's to break the dam.
It's to break the dam.
That is in essence, that's all it is.
She broke the dam.
She broke the dam. Wolverine finds his chamber just as he left it.
Yeah.
I was trying to look at the things. I'm like, are those Wolverine's X-rays, or is that the woman?
I think it's the woman's based on the fact that there's 5 on the fingernail things.
Okay, maybe because I'm like, okay, you have a secret base. Did you just leave it the way for like 20 years?
But yeah, so this flashback that he gets from seeing all these things is funny and also kind of problematic if you gender reverse it. Hugh Jackman's basically running naked around in these scenes.
Yeah.
And in one moment while he's running naked, being intense, being bloody, he comes around the corner and like all the female crew members, including James Marsden's mom, are waving dollar bills at him. Oh. Now he said he was laugh. He's Australian. He's like, it's a bit of fun. And I went, that is a funny story. it would be super uncomfortable if you mentioned it the other way around.
Yeah.
And it's and so it's like, okay, I'm glad everyone had a good laugh.
Yeah.
Maybe he did have a shame sock on, but it's
I'm sure it was.
But
I'm sure he was.
Like, that's funny. It's also uncomfortable to think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, no, and this leads up to a big metal fight.
Yeah, it's like claw fight, yay!
Which I have to say, when they finally revealed that she had long fingernails, all I could think of was the Family Guy episode where they all get superpowers, and Meg's only superpower is she can grow her fingernails
a little bit longer. Yeah,
it's like, well, that doesn't seem like.
And it's like, this is like, okay, how do you fight something that can't be killed kind of thing? And he uses the adamantium, but it's like that bittersweet of. She was under mind control, man.
Well, until like the last. I mean, he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Because he would have never been privy to that
conversation.
But it also is that thing is like when he finally like injects her, it's like the mind control wears off. And you're like, oh God, the last second you realize like, wait, I didn't
need to. Yeah, but it is that thing of Stryker's a bad guy.
Yeah. Stryker's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I like that Magneto pulls all the pins from the grenades.
Oh, yeah, no, that's like using his power cleverly. They do some clever things.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't have to go in there. It's like, why would I fight harder when I can fight smarter?
And again, they die, and we don't have to see any viscera.
Nope.
It's a clean kill.
But then we get the twist of, no, Magneto's going to kill everyone.
Yeah, Magneto uses the Uno reverse card.
He was bad.
He's a bad guy. He's going to kill all the people, which I understand from his point of view of like, humanity is a threat to mutant kind. They're going to put us in camps and all that. But you know what? The logistics of all the world and all the energy in the world, if you kill all the humans, that is going to cause so many problems. Think big picture Magneto, big picture, man.
It's like, we still need people to serve us.
Well, but not even serve us. Like, all the people are gone. Do you have enough nuclear reactor technicians to make sure those don't blow up? I mean, I know you got mutants who can absorb that, but
yeah. That's his thing. The dam is continuing to breach.
Damn.
Storm and Nightcrawler jump in to stop Professor.
This is where we get the payoff for that conversation. Just do a leap of faith, and he saves them.
And she drops the temperature.
She like any good thing, just make it colder in the room.
Make it colder. Everyone will snap out of it. Yeah. And then we get a daring escape.
Yeah.
Really wasn't that problem. It's like you close the door and you went, the helicopter's out there, but it's okay. There's a jet rescue.
Well, and so here's the thing. And so like Logan confronts Stryker and goes back and all that. And there's this something, after all the rescues is like that, Logan picks up a kid.
Yeah.
That kid is old enough not to need to be picked up continuously. And then he takes the kid to go confront Stryker, and the kid's just being held this whole time. I went, this is so awkward. This needed to be like a 2-year-old if this is who you're going to carry, not a 12?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Because I saw it was like, they don't have shoes on.
Oh, no. And I'm fine with when he fell over and it's cold that he kind of picked him up and then maybe put him down and run. It's like, but to carry him the whole time and then to carry him away.
And then to bring him to what would have been, in essence, a mangled corpse.
And I'm going, it's like, this bothered me on my first view, and it's like, this kid is way too old for this.
Carry me, Wolverine.
And I don't care if it's the same kid from the beginning.
The payoff is just he sticks his tongue out again.
So the kid from the beginning is like, oh my God, this should have been a very younger kid, much younger kid. At best, 6 years old, not this 12-year-old looking kid.
But we get the dam breaks. The water comes. Jean sacrifices herself and pulls a Moses and parts the water.
Yeah, uses all her powers. Pyro joins Magneto.
Yeah. I have to say, and I don't like to critique actors that much. Everyone makes a choice. But when Cyclops finds out that she's not coming in, the face he pulls is not so much I'm upset. It's I've got irritable bowel syndrome and I'm about to crap myself.
As one of my TV show's directors always says, like, I didn't know how to, so I just said, you have poo cramps. Just do poo cramp face. You got got shot with electrical poo cramps.
So, I mean, Jean is swept away, never to be seen again.
Until the next...
But and then they have to get to Washington because the president's going to make a speech.
Yeah, because everyone got a Professor X migraine, and that's scary.
Yes.
Professor X migraines are like, right here on the forehead, not here on the back.
Yeah, it's right in the front where you cannot ignore it.
Yeah. So
Professor X does a time stoppy thing.
Thingy guinea, and it's like, are you threatening me? No, we just popped in, froze everyone, caused a nightmarish power outage with with lightning and everything, and a demon in the corner. We're not threatening you.
Not at all.
No.
But it's like, we're going to explain everything to you, and we're going to trust that you're going to do the right thing.
And we're going to give you the Stasi, and if you don't, we're still here. It's like,
there's the threat.
There's the threat, yeah.
And yeah, everything starts wrapping up, everything.
And then we set up the sequel for, Dark Phoenix in the water. You guys see like a butterfly thingy.
Yeah. Jean Grey's the outro voiceover.
Where she says what Patrick Stewart said in the first movie.
A leap forward.
Yes. Leap home. But and like I said, this I think was the best of what I would call the original X-Men trilogy.
Yes.
And then you get, Days of Future Past trilogy, and then you get weirder things with Apocalypse and then Dark Phoenix, which I haven't even seen. They just keep going at it.
X-Men is a interesting property where it's like I feel like no one has ever really done it correctly.
No.
It's like they keep trying.
Yeah.
And I feel like it runs into the same problems, like because there are so many characters
right off the bat.
It's like you don't really have the time to invest it. You have to run along, and by the time you actually catch up to it, you've already got the money men in there going, we'll just cut corners, and then the story suffers.
Yeah. And that's just, it's a shame. You'd want to know what MCU could do, but we've seen like with the exception of like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like it's hard to do those all these people.
Well, and it's a
communicating and all that.
Dense story. I mean, if you like start from like when the comic was done, it's like there's a lot of stories you can go down, and they are weird.
Yes, they are.
So it's like you do have to have a lot of buy-in, and sometimes, like I said, I think also it suffers from the Batman syndrome. Where it was like Wolverine does not have to be the focal point of every single story.
And I think that's also like a joke of the comics, of the cartoons. I mean, there was like a webcomic that made me laugh. It's like, okay, Team 1 will be going to North America, which will consist of these 5 mutants, and Wolverine's like, awesome. Team 2 will consist of these 5 mutants, and Wolverine will be in Europe. It's like, wait, how am I going to do that? And Team 3 is going down to Australia. It'll be these 5 mutants of Wolverine. It's like, just wait a gosh darn second. How am I supposed to do all that?
Yep, no. But yeah, it's the Wolverine show.
Yeah, it's like, yes, he is the most popular. He doesn't have to be the only game in town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have no transition
you
for
didn't,
this.
It's like, all these people communicating, going places.
No.
Maybe
I was like, the only game in town. You mean Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks can do anything.
Yes. What's our next movie?
It's You've Got Mail.
Are you sure this time?
Right this time.
Yes.
Correct this
You sure
time.
that's not the letter U?
Yeah.
Got Mail?
We are doing the beloved
it's one of the
rom-coms
of that era.
Of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan sending anonymous emails to each other.
Love letters to each other.
I feel like some of this will have techno-aged poorly.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the mere fact that they're communicating by email is old and dated. And
well, it's like, we're going to explain. This was AOL, and You've Got Mail. And
this was a big thing about that time.
This was a big thing back then, kids.
So if you watch X2, X-Men United,
Electric Boogaloo,
I would suggest that out of all of them. It's a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
And join us next week for You've Got Mail for a nice little rom-com.
We haven't done a little rom-com of techno past.
Okay. Well, thanks.
All right.
Bye. Oh my. You okay there?
Gotta get up now.
Did you think shift? like you lost some weight on that one.
Oh, I deflated a little bit on that one. I'm a little lopsided.
Don't know why you're Irish, but
well, if you burp, you gotta be Irish.
You gotta be Irish.
I don't know.
Oh.